Hi guys, I hope that you're well today and welcome back to Fit Education's virtual classroom. Today's Micro Teach topic, we are going to cover the structure of the nervous system and we are going to focus on neurons and their connections to muscles, making up a motor unit. As ever, if you appreciate our content, we would love it if you could like, comment and share and support us in what we do. So let's have a look at the structure of the nervous system. The nervous system is responsible for all internal communication and coordination. Its primary role is to maintain a constant balance of the internal environment, known as homeostasis. It achieves this with the help of the brain and a complex network of electrical nerves and chemical messages that run throughout the body. There are two primary divisions of the nervous system: the central nervous system, or CNS, which consists of the brain and the spinal cord, and which are the control centres of the nervous system. We also have the peripheral nervous system, or PNS, consisting of all the branches of nerves that lie outside of the spinal cord, which feed signals into and out of the central nervous system. The peripheral nervous system subdivides into the somatic peripheral nervous system, which controls voluntary or conscious movement of the skeletal muscles, and the autonomic peripheral nervous system, which controls involuntary functions such as the heart rate and digestion. A neuron is the term given to a nerve cell which transmits the electrical messages via a one-way circuit within the nervous system. There are two different types of neurons, including sensory and motor neurons. Sensory neurons relay messages from the different sensory receptors of the peripheral nervous system back to the central nervous system. All sensory neurons run into the posterior aspect of the spinal cord. The second type of neuron are motor neurons, which relay messages from the central nervous system to the different muscles and glands of the peripheral nervous system. They do this from the anterior aspect of the spinal cord. Both sensory and motor neurons are responsible for transmitting electrical messages, essentially behaving like a one-way cable or wire. The distance travelled by the signal might be short, such as from one part of the central nervous system to the other, or it might be relatively long, such as the peripheral nervous system from the bottom of the feet to the lumbar region, for example. Nevertheless, all neurons possess the same fundamental anatomical features, including dendrites, which are small branch-like projections which make the connections to other cells, allowing the neuron to communicate with that cell. It's the dendrites that actually sense the stimulus, such as heat, cold, pain, pressure, or touch. A neuron has a cell body, or soma. This regulates cell activity and contains all of the necessary components of the cell, including the nucleus, which contains the DNA, endoplasmic reticulum and ribosomes for building proteins, and mitochondria for making energy. The neuron axon is a cable-like projection which transmits the signal known as an action potential by carrying electrochemical messages along the length of the neuron. The axon is surrounded by myelin sheath, which is a thin insulating layer which helps to speed up the action potential as it travels along the axon to the axon terminal. The axon terminal is the interface between the neuron and the other cells and contains the synaptic end bulbs, which are embedded right at the end of the axon terminals. These are where the neurotransmitter, which is the substance that transmits the action potential to the next structure, is released, continuing the communication to the connected structure. Due to the symbiotic nature of the nervous and muscular systems, they are often referred to collectively as the neuromuscular system. An example of this is where a motor neuron connects with a muscle fibre. This grouping is known as a motor unit. A motor unit consists of a single motor neuron and all of the muscle fibres which it innervates. The connection between the two is known as the neuromuscular junction. It's here where the synaptic end bulbs are located. A single motor neuron may be responsible for innervating thousands or tens of thousands of muscle fibres, depending on its location and function. For example, the hands have a lot of small motor units supplying fewer fibres to enable more intricate and finer movements, whereas the legs and muscles involved in maintaining posture have fewer motor neurons, but these are larger and supply more muscle fibres. A motor unit is typically made up of one type of muscle fibre, either that of slow, intermediate or fast twitch. This saves energy as it enables tasks requiring less effort for only the smaller motor units to be recruited, therefore saving energy not needing to recruit the larger fast twitch fibres for smaller, less demanding movements, such as picking up a pen, for example. When a motor neuron sends an action potential down the axon, the motor unit is innervated, meaning all of the muscle fibres within that motor unit are innervated. The motor unit will therefore activate all of its fibres at once, or not at all. This is known as the all or none law. An example would be thinking of the neurons as electrical wires, and the connected muscle fibres as light bulbs. They are either on or they are off. There is no in between. That is why motor neurons only connect to specific fibre types. To complete a task where less force is required, a small number of motor units connected to slow twitch fibres will be recruited, innervating all of those fibres and producing a low force contraction such as lifting a pen. Where increased force is required, motor units connected to intermediate twitch fibres will be recruited, innervating all of those fibres and producing a medium force contraction such as lifting a chair. This will also occur in synchronization with the innervation of the low force motor units. Where high force is required, motor units connected to fast twitch fibres will be recruited, innervating all of those fibres and producing a high force contraction, such as lifting a desk. This will occur in synchronization with the innervation of both the low and medium force motor units, so all motor units and muscle fibres are innervated together. We hope that you enjoyed today's content. If you have any questions on what was covered, please leave us a comment below. Or if you'd like to support us in what we do, if you could give us a like, a comment, or share, we'd appreciate your support.